hot out there for those players and looks like to be a little bit humid as well. So again, these teams are fighting to win each group. You got to win to move on. Here is the group. El Salvador won today. They took down Cuba. Final score was 2-1. Cuba made it interesting in the end, but El Salvador was able to sneak away. And Canada and Martinique are hoping to get a win as well. We'll have lineups, anthems, all of that coming up.
Damas y caballeros, demos la bienvenida a los equipos de Canadá y Martinica para el partido clasificatorio del Sub-20 femenino de Concacaf 2023. Damas y caballeros, le pedimos por favor ponerse de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Canadá. Damas y caballeros, por favor permanecer de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Martinica. Alineaciones del partido.
All right, just saw anthems from both sides as we get ready for Canada and Martinique here, Concacaf Qualifiers. Again, this is Group A, and as previously outlined, we already saw some Group A action today. El Salvador took down Cuba. Final score of that game was 2-1. It got a little interesting at the end. We'll take a look at the starting lineup. Cindy Tai is the head coach for Canada. Canada, a team that made the World Cup at this level last year, and Jordy is their captain. They've got a lot of talented players, including Maya Archibald on this roster, so looking forward to this game on the Canadian side. Again, early favorites probably to win this group, but they've got to get through some really talented teams, and Martinique will have something to say about that. On the Martinique side, see them posing for their early photo, but we'll see their starting 11 soon as well. But these are two teams that, you know, there's a little bit of an unknown right now, and probably got to work out the kinks. Astrid Gramajo is our center referee from Guatemala. A lot of these players have been playing together at lower levels, U15, U17, now up here at U20. So there is that chemistry built in, but it's still difficult. It's first game in a while together. Pose for one final photo before we get started and take a look at that Martinique starting 11 as well. A bunch of other games going on. Here's that starting 11. Coached by Jean-Marc Savalt, and then you've got a lot of players, you know, again, with lots of experience as well for this team. Marjorie will be the keeper today for Martinique. Just about ready to go here. Both teams one final meeting before we get started. Canada is wearing the white kits, of course, with the splash of red, and then Martinique with those blue kits on the other side. The way this works here in Concacaf W at the U20 level is two teams have already surpassed this group stage, and that's Mexico and the United States. And so they are waiting in the championship bracket. They don't have to play this week. Meanwhile, everybody else is duking it out for 6 spots left, which means you have to win your group to get to the next stage. And those games will be played in May and June. But everyone focused on this one. Game 1, Canada and Martinique in Group A play. Here in the Dominican Republic, again, this will be the site of this group stage, and then also where the championship will be played later in May and June. Just waiting for that first whistle. And we are underway. Canada, a team with lots of talent. Obviously, the senior national team won the Olympic gold in the last Olympics, and so there's definitely a big expectation that Canada has turned a corner in women's soccer. And, you know, obviously it was constantly United States in the conversation internationally, but lots of women's programs have grown over the years, and Canada's one of them, and now they're really making a run. And it starts here at the youth levels, and you look at that senior national team for Canada, and you see a lot of players that came up through the U20. Fleming, Jessie Fleming being one, Adriana Leone. List goes on and on. Early knock does not get through. That one handled by Maragini, the goalkeeper for Martinique. Bounce around in the midfield. Perot collects. Now Jordy, the captain, blazing forward. Couple of cutters in the box. That one broken up, and it will be a corner early for Canada. See what they can do on these set pieces. Cindy Tai, their head coach, looking on. Off the service, back end post, and it's wide. Good look early through the air for Canada. And if that's something that they can set up, obviously it can be really dangerous and difficult to stay organized when you don't really know who's a threat through the air for Canada quite yet. Get a better feeling over the course of this game. Quickly, it's given away. Trying to earn it back. Chukwu watches it roll. Another set piece on the way. Let's see what they opt to do this time. But again, last time it was far post. Rosa Malouf curls that one up near post. Lands for Archibald, fires, and it sails over the crossbar. Again, when you look at the U17 rosters from last year, a lot of the same players for both of these teams. It's just a steady progression. We're seeing that pressure from Canada early, looking to get some takeaways, and they've been very successful so far in the opening 3 minutes. Martinique really has not possessed at all. We'll see if it continues or if they're able to just slow down. It's always tough when you're seeing that pressure. The instinct is to rush something to get a little frazzled, and so sometimes it takes a second to settle into a game. We'll see how Martinique reacts. Obviously, Canada wants to possess. Here's a chance, and it's blocked away. Nice stop there by Martinique, the goaltender. Well, we're seeing Jordy, the captain, with some early looks. Clearly going to be a threat in the box. This is already the third corner that we've seen for Canada in this game. Slips through. Here's a chance to tap it home. No one does. Second chance off the crossbar and in. Moratitis puts Canada on the board. Nothing Moratitis with goal number 1, and Canada strikes first. And you've had a feeling it was coming. Every set piece so far had looked pretty clean. This one slides through untouched and actually is whiffed on by Adi, but ultimately it lands for the wrong player. Moratitis makes them pay. Yeah, you see it slips by everybody, including the defense for Martinique. And Canada off to a good start. 4 minutes in. Have goal number 1. Searching for goal number 2. Successful tackle put on. Pushed out wide. Elbeen for Martinique with some strong defense. Well, this is a Canadian side that's, again, seen so much talent come through this U20 roster, including Christine Sinclair, way back in the day, 2002. Sinclair obviously is a staple of the Canadian national team for years and years and years, and the NWSL as well. She's won plenty of championships and Obviously got that gold in the Olympics. 2002 was a part of the Canadian roster that went to the World Cup and ultimately lost the United States. Tapped in again. Jordy's on the board. Canada has 2. Well, things are already looking pretty good for Canada in this one. 2 quick back-to-back goals. Let's see this one again. Off the toss. Cross in. Jordy makes that look easy. Those one-timers are actually difficult, but there was too much space for Jordy to operate, and Martinique just didn't close the gap. This is a nice cross put on 2, finding the seam. As much a assist to Chukwu. Got a hat tip her for being able to cross that in perfectly. Oh, Martinique just trying to get control here. Again, they just have not had any chance to possess, set anything up, even put together a successful sequence of passes. Canada, credit to them, has made it very difficult. But now Martinique will get a throw-in. Perot. Jordy. Here's a chance for Canada, and sliding is Martinique. I have a feeling she's going to see a lot of shots today, as Perot nearly had one there. And Mortitis had that first goal. Canada decides to regroup. Logan to Archibald. Centers now. Perot. Chukwu cuts it in the box. Chukwu. Oh, right idea. You just get the feeling Chukwu has a great eye. Early minutes, you can just see her vision. Thought she was going to take that herself and didn't even see. Looked like Malouf there getting in behind, and she did. That nearly was goal number 3 for Canada. Not even 10 minutes into this game. Annabelle Chukwu. Part of the, again, the youth groups with Canada, and back here with U20. Trying to get to the championship round. Got to win this group, though, for Canada. Cross put on. Perot's on the other end of it. Misses the header. Hernandez-Gray from Archibald. Back to Hernandez-Gray on the wing now. Service. Soars out of play. Well, this is a U20 Canadian team that has been to the World Cup 8 times. First in 2002, like I said, was Sinclair. That was their best result as runner-up in that World Cup. Of course, the World Cup at this level was won by Spain last season. Perot with the takeaway, pushes this back to Archibald. Surpasses Logan. Valle, the goalkeeper today, redirects and switches fields. Adi blazing up that far side. Nice leading pass to Malouf. Malouf looking for options. Starts, stops. Gets pushed back in the corner. Well, physical play, but it will ultimately be a set-piece opportunity. Going head-to-head there with Hurley, the defender. Corners have been lethal, and we've seen a bunch already for Canada. This one curls up. Header bounces home. It's Ella Adi this time. Canada has 3. Well, we are just a little over 10 minutes into this game. It's 3-0 Canada. And again, just a little bit unorganized for Martinique. No one is marking Adi, and she's open. And again, you got to credit the service because it lands perfectly. But Adi, untouched, just runs straight through the center and heads it home. We've got 3 different goal scorers, too, in this game already for Canada. We'll see how Martinique adjusts. Defense has to be a little tired, but the throw-ins just haven't been perfect. They've quickly been giving it away every time they toss it in, as Logan has some room to operate off to Archibald. Showing off her speed up that flank. Off a defender and nearly out, but it stays in. I think that touched off of Archibald. No, they'll say off of Martinique. So we do it again, another corner. Short pass this time to Malouf. Little give and go action with Jordy, who already has a goal. Left-footed strike, and it's over the crossbar. Love that. That's a great shot, though. I think at this point, you know, Cindy, Ty, and they've just had so many corners that it gives you a chance, if you're Canada, to just try out different plays, see what works, what doesn't work. And that shot, I don't know, maybe a couple inches lower is going to be pretty nasty for Jordy. We'll see if Martinique can clear. Quickly out of play. Up the middle for Chukwu. Already has an assist, and it's blocked. Nice save by Marjani. Again, she has had her work cut out for her today. Chukwu in the 6, denied. Malouf Jordy. Starts to go. Tackle is strong. Teo with that one for Martinique. Malouf this time gets tripped up, keeps on going. Looking for Archibald, and it's cleared out. This should just be a throw as it lands in the bleachers here in Dominican Republic. Chukwu. Past the defender, keeps on going. Past another. Can she score here? No, that one ricochets out. Shifty play, though, from Chukwu early. Another set piece on the way. From Jordy. Off her left foot. Lands. Stopped on the goal line. Maybe a step in front, but Martinique denies that goal. Oh, we got a physical play and a Canadian player down as Hernandez Gray slow to get up, and we're going to get a yellow card. That's going to go against Bevis, Shannon Bevis for Martinique. We'll see this again. Yeah, just that's a kind of play that can get you removed from a game, honestly. It looks like Hernandez Gray is all right. From Maloof. Nice run there by Chukwu. Bounces around. Adi. Ooh, it hits the top of the net. Look for Mark Cini there. Logan. Oh, you can see, you can hear the head coach for Martinique just pleased with the defense there in that sequence. That's been difficult so far for Savo's team, but they're still fighting. There's that wall for Martinique. Let's see what Canada has to offer. We've seen a lot of corners, not as many free kicks. Maloof, short pass to Jordy. Little mistimed there. Martinique rolls this one, leading pass, and Archibald's back in time. Logan there to help out as well. Claire Logan, player that trains with the Vancouver Whitecaps, the MLS, their academy. Played virtually every sport in her life. Cross country, track, tennis, basketball, volleyball, field hockey. The list goes on and on. Baseball, swimming, figure skating, skiing. That's according to the website. So basically, if there's a sport out there, maybe besides cricket, Clara Logan has tried it out. Big admirer of Jessie Fleming and Janine Becky, part of that Canada senior national team. Becky had a tough injury that's been very heartbreaking for the senior national team, but in general, good players to watch out for and inspirations. They came up through the U20 ranks as well. Hernandez Gray fires, and it's right to the keeper, Margini. Archibald, Hernandez Gray. Up to the center. Here's Logan. And we'll get a whistle. Pretty obvious trip. Foul against Goddard. Archibald. Broken up and lands out of play. Jordy disrupted. Lands for Hernandez-Gray. Has some time. Splits the D. Hernandez-Gray taps it home. Geneva Hernandez-Gray. It's 4-0 Canada. We'll see this again. Just the attempt for Martinique. It's so dangerous to push that to no man's land. And Geneva Hernandez-Gray just runs in, beats multiple defenders, and makes the smart play of just redirecting that to tuck it in the corner. Again, 4 goals already for Canada. Martinique just has not had much time with the ball. Hernandez-Gray. Foul. She's taking a couple knocks today. That's for sure. Maya Archibald out of Nova Scotia. There's Perot, another Vancouver Whitecaps Academy product. That one bounces through, and Margini is able to corral it in. Yeah, Archibald won a bronze medal with Canada Concacaf Under-17 last year. Honestly, this is a lot of that U17 roster. Most of these players are 16, 17, maybe 18. Archibald's 18. Super young as Chukwu just heads out wide. A little crowded there with Perel. Well, we should be approaching a cooling break here, and that would be a great chance for Martinique to just reset, discuss how to proceed. Just look a little disorganized. Chukwu offside and gets undercut badly. Luckily, she lands in an all right spot, quick to get up. Again, super young is Chukwu, just 16, and you can just see the way she plays. It's very high IQ soccer. Has been able to find her teammates, and I'm sure she's hoping to get one herself. Here's that press, immediately gets it back. Jordy pushing the pace. Breaks some ankles there, does Jordy. And that one just shoved out for Martinique. We're approaching 25 minutes in, and it's been all Canada in this game. Again, 4 different goal scorers. It's hard to keep track of how many corners they've had. I think we're approaching double digits in that category, and we're not even really close to the end of the first half. It's been a dominant performance. Again, this team, a lot of this team won bronze at the U17 level, so they're used to winning, and it was maybe a little disappointing to get the bronze. Obviously, United States and Mexico are often issues. That one batted away by Margini. She's seen enough. That's a good play by the keeper. Quick passes, that one's whiffed. Perot challenging, turns around, 3 defenders swarm, and she just keeps on possessing. Perot just keeps fighting for it. Or Titus comes to help. Finally, it's ripped away. Martinique the other way. Can they build something here? Try to get one back. Leading pass. Here's an opportunity. And it's right to the goalkeeper there. Valle is able to just quickly roll out. Last line of defense, but that's better for Martinique. Just finding the gaps. I think if you're Martinique, you're down 4-0 already. You should probably start taking some chances. You can probably apply some more pressure. Lopped it up for Chukwu. And it bounces to Martinique. Header from Logan. Ricochets off Perot. We didn't hear a whistle, although I'm fairly certain that went out. But Perot does a smart thing and just keeps on going. Maloof. Hernandez-Gray. Back to Archibald. His Canadian team, you know, the younger groups are known as the Baby Reds, and I think a lot of these players play soccer a lot older. Archibald quick to get up. Seen a lot of fouls for Martinique, and I think it's just out of position, trying to get back and committing a foul because they were not in the right spot. Hernandez-Gray, we got an injury though for Martinique as that one just bounces to Martinique. See this again, Hernandez-Gray just literally blazing by the defense and just causes some herky-jerky motions that I think can be painful. Perea just slow to get up, still trying to waltz over to that sideline. It is officially the cooling break, so everyone can just get some water and reset. I think Martinique is definitely going to need it. You see this Canadian team has been dominant so far, 4-0. Again, 4 different goal scorers. Let's take a look at some of the highlights already. We've got a bunch. So that's more Titus on the first one, off the crossbar and in. A lot of these coming off of set pieces, but this one just Chukwu, great vision, and Jordy just taps it home. Maloof again. Serves it up beautifully for Adi, and that one bounces home. And then this time around, Hernandez-Gray just makes it look so easy, sliding by everyone and ultimately just tucks it in the corner. Those are the 4 goals for Canada as we approach the half-an-hour mark. We are done with the cooling break. It doesn't seem like Canada's cooled off too much as Hernandez-Gray up the middle. Serves it up to the right side. Perot cutting through. And Archibald plays through a tackle. Swarmed. Keeps on going. Wants the call. Not going to get one. Left-footed serve for Chukwu. And the header isn't strong enough. You know, I think Canada's aerial presence has been pretty impressive so far in this game. So if I'm another team and I'm just kind of noting what they can do, I mean, look, what we know they can do is score, but through the air, they have some strong players. And obviously, in order to get a header home, you need to have somebody serve it up nicely. And we've seen that. Maloof can do it. Chukwu can do it. And certainly Archibald can. Here's Maloof. Cuts through. Another chance and gets tripped up. Does a full somersault and lands very gracefully, all things considered. Honestly, it's only a matter of time before Maloof gets on the board. She had 12 goals in that U17 championship last year in 6 games, so she was averaging 2 goals a game. Kind of incredible stuff. She led the tournament in that category. better for Martinique, but Hernandez-Gray is able to clean up. Logan, quick tap to Archibald. And Canada will switch fields. Everyone's getting a little tripped up, though. That's the only issue here for Canada. Bit of a ghost presence, or I don't know if something's up with the pitch here. We're going to get a whistle. Not sure why. Oh, we got an injury, Martinique. It's been rough going for Martinique so far. Training staff's going to come out. Remember, there's 38.2 million people, which is kind of a funny stat, but in Canada. And Martinique, much smaller than that. Obviously, just an island country, and so just the pool of players is difficult, but you know, credit to Martinique, especially defensively, and Marginy as well. They've done a really good job today, and again, Martinique has a little bit less than 400,000 people in the country. So difficult size-wise, but you know, we've, over the course of Concacaf play, seen some of these island countries come up big, and you know, some will get to go to the World Cup. Senior national team level. I mean, Jamaica's going to the World Cup. That's super exciting. They've gone twice now on the women's side. So small and mighty is definitely a thing in CONCACAF. I mean, Haiti's going as well. So just takes sometimes some time to build up these programs and systems, but never say never. I mean, Jamaica made it in 2019, and they just made it last year as well. They've sort of developed themselves as one of the top CONCACAF teams. I'm sure Martinique would love to do the same. Got to get through Canada, though, here today. And we've got another corner. It's Malouf again. With her left foot this time, Chukwu just off the mark. Not sure if Marginy got a piece of that, but Marginy did a great job of shading it. And it looks like she did. Jordy to this time. Missed by everyone. Finally gets to Adi, who can't handle. Punch back in for Chukwu. Perot racing towards it. Gets the edge. Blazes past the defender. There's a chance to tap it home. Yes! Canada scores again. Marcini, the 5th goal scorer for Canada in this first half. So Marcini and Canada are rolling. Let's see this one again. This is Perot. I mean, obviously great for Marcini to finish, but that was all Perot. Just did not give up on the play. Keeps on going basically around the corner past one defender, and that just causes everybody to collapse in and not realize that Marcini's cutting through, and she's able to finish. 5-0 Canada as we still have 10 more minutes to go in this first half. Hernandez-Gray. Dincuff turns it over for Martinique. Here's a chance for Malouf. Sprinting in the box, yes! Question is, was she offside? Yes, that was the call. Again, Malouf, definitely a star in the making. Out of Ontario, and I think this Canadian team is meshing pretty well. We're seeing that in this game so far. There's some tough challenges in their group. Mentioned that El Salvador won today against Cuba. That's not going to be an easy game for Canada. Nice pass, Adi, to Malouf. Malouf, she's got it this time. 6 scores for Canada, and it's 6-0. So she basically went offside, or she did. She went offside moments ago, and then pretty much operates the exact same way. Nice feed to Adi. Everyone is trying to get back in position for Martinique, and no one can catch her. Very clinical for Malouf. Right, she just takes one. She doesn't even take a touch. Just immediately fires. Squares her body perfectly. Great footing. This team is very well-rounded for Canada. We're seeing that. And again, remember, Mexico and United States have already moved on to that championship as Perot takes it away, dishes it off, and Chukwu falls in the 6, unable to finish. So those two teams aren't a part of this competition, but I would say Canada, Mexico, and the United States have really traditionally had some great battles between the 3 at these levels, senior levels as well. And again, it's been kind of as of late that Canada's really started to solidify themselves, and it all just culminated in that gold at the senior level in the Olympics. So many great players on that roster that serve as an inspiration. I mean, when you look through this U20 Canadian team and they say who inspires them, many players will say Christine Sinclair. They'll talk about Jordan Heitema, who's only 21. I mean, she's not much older than these players and is a huge part of the Canadian future. Might be teammates with some of these young ladies down the line. Malouf. Jordy's making a run. Chukwu, they're unmarked. Well, we'll get a whistle offside. Tough for Martinique. She's seen a lot of action, and frankly, a lot's been point blank. You know, in the 6 or 1v1s. That is never a position you want to be putting your goalkeeper in. Marcini, Logan, 2 center backs today. Obviously, Marcini scored. I'm expecting Canada will make a lot of changes at the break. Just give some other players some shine. Speaking of that, here's Perot. She's in the box. She fires off the post and in. 7 goals for Canada. Perot gets in on the action. Very, very tough for Martinique. Against Chukwu. Feeds that off nicely. Perot. Boy, that's pretty the way that it curves around. Kind of looked like it did. I mean, it did go off the posts and just bounce off the post in the perfect way and in. 7-0. This rate, Canada's going to score double-digit goals in the game. Martinique doesn't figure something out defensively. Or Titus, now Chukwu. Dancing on it, gets pushed down. Oh, we're seeing a lot of players fall. Hernandez-Gray fell for Canada. Better for Martinique. Godard. And a foul against Canada. Well, Martinique wants to go. Trying to get into the attacking third for one of the first times today. It's Godard just talking to her team. rest everybody. Untouched, but again, better for Martinique. I just think that at this point, you know, if you're presented with the opportunity, you want to make the most of it, and that one just, no one was able to get in behind. You can just see the exhaustion for Martinique. It's been tough. Training staff's out just to check and make sure everybody's all right. Looks like we've got a inhaler. It's about mid-80s in Dominican Republic, so not the most comfortable weather. It's definitely humid. And Canada's been relentless, evident by the score in the first half, 7-0. Oh, looks like we're about ready to restart, and we will. In the box. Cleared. Out of trouble for a heartbeat as Logan makes a move up to Perel. Chukwu spins, now centers. They're showing off that speed for Adi. She's going to be the first one to get there, and we'll have some time. Finally gets challenged. Quick move, past the defender, lays it off. Off the post, no. Malouf, second chance right into the keeper, Martinique. I think Chukwu and Malouf just didn't know who was going to finish this initially. Actually, no, Malouf knew she was going for it. She was just trying to hit that corner, and initially off the post, goes for the second and maybe third chance, and Martinique covers. Nice move by Logan. Center back showing off her stuff. Got a little dinged there. More Titus. Jordy. 18 years old. Fires and hops to Martinique. Jordy, a returner actually on this roster. Won a bronze medal, the U20s last year in Concacaf. Just gonna get a minute of stoppage time here in the first half for Canada and Martinique. It's been a complete performance from Canada. Everything has been going their way, and they've been making it look so easy. Missed tackle, Chukwu. Past another defender, scores. 8 goals, Chukwu helps herself. It's 8-0 Canada, and we're still in the first half. Martinique has no answer right now. See this again. More Titus, get this thing started. Missed tackle, Chukwu. Easy finish there. Again, Chukwu just 16, one of those future stars for Canada. I mean, this is playing up a level, and deservedly so. We're seeing why. That's the whistle to end the first half, and the lesson here is Canada came ready to play, up 8-0 on Martinique in game 1 of the Concacaf U20 qualifiers. Got a lot to smile about right now, and they're not done yet. Still 45 minutes to go in this game. Martinique looks a little disheveled right now, so they'll get the chance to regroup here at halftime. But we'll take a break, and then we'll have highlights from this first half. I can tell you it's mostly Canada on the other side, so stick with us again. 8-0, Canada up on Martinique. U20 Concacaf play, and we're just about ready to get the second half started. Got 45 minutes left in this one. See it starting to get dark in Dominican Republic. Logan Marcini, one of the goal scorers in that first half. Up to Perot, another goal scorer in that first half. I could run down the list here in this game. Logan Marcini. Jordy has a chance, offside. One thing that I'm sure was said by Sydney Tai at the halftime break is, as much as it's clear that Canada is most likely going to win this game, it doesn't mean you can establish bad habits or start to get into a bit of a funk. So I'm sure she wants to just have this team continue to execute as they normally would. You don't want to take your foot off the gas too much. You don't want to start to get lazy about anything. And, you know, Canada's going to have some tough tests moving forward, whether it's in group play, if they're able to move on to the championship. It's not going to be easy against Mexico. And so this is the same crew they're going to be with all summer. As Perot, just off the mark. Jordy going for her brace. She would be the first one on the team to get a brace. Olivia Smith, again, just entered. Cuts it back to Jordy. Jordy looking for Smith. Then it goes right to a goalkeeper there in Martinique. Not Smith already doing some damage. Logan. Archibald. Disrupted. Ends up with Dinkov for Martinique. Bevis turns, getting hounded by Adi. Bevis keeps it. This time it's Jordy to knock it away. Dinkov, nice pass ahead for Martinique. Here's a real opportunity, but a sliding tackle by Archibald stalls a little. Pass goes to Hernandez. Gray for Canada, but again, that's a much better sequence for Canada, or excuse me, for Martinique. Perot tries a long ball, left for Chukwu if she can get there, but it's Martinique. Marcini, head on a swivel. Chukwu. Push to Archibald. Logan gets back. Gotta be careful though, again, about establishing good habits if you're Canada. Jordy. Smith. 18 years old, fires and scores. Olivia Smith, welcome to this game. Canada's up 9-0. Olivia Smith plays college soccer at Penn State. And we see this starts from Jordy off her left foot. Swerves into Smith. Really didn't have the best of angles. That just fires and finds the back of the net. Played in 16 games as a freshman as a midfielder for Penn State this season, originally out of Toronto. Logan gets knocked down. Martinique just keeps on going. Here's a shot and a save. Boudry just blazing through and ultimately gets called for the foul. At some point, you got to do what you got to do if you're Martinique trying to get back in this game. Perot. Nearly another foul. No, 5 minutes into this second half, Canada just has that one goal from Smith. Jugwu, Smith, ricochets off her and able to keep. Logan, long ball ahead to Archibald. Fullback coming up, taken away and rolls out. Here goes Martinique, Dincuff. Right to Mark Sinney on the Canadian side. Martitis, or excuse me, that's Jordy. Smith and Hernandez Gray, excuse me, will be fouled. Taking a couple knocks today.
You guys can play. Liv, look at the gap.
Just on tie, tell Olivia Smith, look at the gaps. Canada's done a pretty good job of finding the gaps today. Easy, Mark Sinney turns, fires, offside. So obviously that one's not going to count. Mark Sinney just a hair off sides. Smith gets a takeaway, looking for a brace, settles, dumps it off to Chukwu, finishes. 10 goals for Canada, officially in double digits. Chukwu has a brace, and that's unselfish soccer. This is tough for Martinique. Just weren't prepared for Smith. Off to Chukwu, and the two combine for a goal. Officially number 10. Player down for Martinique. Looks like it's Hurley in pain. Gonna call that against Jordy. Perhaps extended an elbow. Just seemed like Hurley bounced off her. Gramaggio, the center referee, just checking in on everyone. Cooling break for Logan and company. Well, Marcini already has a goal, but she just saw one called back to on account of being offside. Another player that was on that U17 roster last year that won bronze in Concacaf. Grew up in Markham, Ontario, did Marcini. Big Vanessa Gio fan for Marcini, and I think that's a friendly fire there with Logan and Hernandez Gray. Smiles around, but Marcini, obviously, it's nice to see her idolize another center back. Jill is a big part of that Canadian roster and a storied professional career as well at a young age. Dangerous. Can Martinique get on the board? No. Aye with the stop there, saving that shutout for Canada. Smith just showing some sportsmanship there as Teo went down. Yeah, this is just a miscue. Obviously unable to completely clear, a little bit of a whiff, but ultimately makes up for it. Smith again. Keeps on going. Olivia Smith runs right into Martinique and is going to get a card. Let's see this. Into the box, keeper comes out and slides. I mean, that was not on purpose. Just trying to shoot for Smith, but then you could see her try to take her leg back. Not in time though, still made a fair amount of contact with Martinique for Martinique, and it's gotta be pretty painful for the goalkeeper who's, you know, had a rough day, lots of action her way. Martinique still getting tended to. We've got about half an hour left in this one, Canada and Martinique, and seen a lot of goals from Canada. It's the persuasive performance, I think, when I talk about early favorites to move on to the next round. Canada has certainly made a statement here today, trying to fight their way in that championship with 7 other teams coming up in late May and early June. like Martinique is all right. Martinique just looking on a tough day, but the good thing is, you know, some time off and then right back at it in these tournaments. So there's not a lot of time to just linger on a loss like this. They got to continue on in group play. They've got Cuba, El Salvador in their group. So plenty of other opportunities to have a competitive game, to pick up a win. Again, Smith just got that yellow. Martinique appears to be all right, and we are good to go. Body commits a foul. Concacaf whiffs. Looks like Teo out. Ocean Road Bar is in the game for Martinique. Here's Jordy off to the races and cleared out by Martinique. Ran right into Martinique. Gonna make some changes here for Canada. See Nia Rose come in. Kayla Briggs will also enter. Gonna take out Chukwu, who had a brace, and Jordy as well. So again, Briggs in, Rose in, Jordy and Chukwu out, both goal scorers today. Adi right away. Welcome to the game. It's Nia Rose. What a second into stepping on the pitch. It's 11-0. Oh, you can just see the reaction there from Ty and company. Not as pleased on the Martinique side for Savo. Adi, quick touch. Cuts it back, and I mean, completely unmarked and alone is Rose, but still gotta finish, and she does. Archibald has not scored today. I'm sure she would like to, though. Hernandez Gray denied. Concacaf with the clear. Briggs. Smith, lots of space. Hernandez Gray, little give and go action. Smith in the box, adds another. 12-0 Canada, almost loses her cleat in the process, as I think everyone's looking on for Canada to make sure she's okay after that. To me, it just looked like she lost her shoe. Or was that a celebration? Hold on. Smith. I think she just, did she do a low Levanto? Hold on. I don't know if we're gonna see the best view of that. Either way, Smith is all right. Smith just continues. This time she really does fall right. Ooh, no call. Logan hassled by Concacaf. Nice play. See if Martinique can build something. Maria immediately loses it. Marcini's up. Logan. Perillo takes it away. Here she is again, and was 5-hole there. Concacaf physical play. Bumps it forward and then pass behind to give it back. Briggs. Lottie boots it, and it's actually not even out. Titus comes up. It's the first one to score in this game and open things up. And since then, Canada has not looked back. 11 goals. As Briggs gets knocked on that one. Smith back towards that center line. Briggs kept in. Smith looking for Perot. Coming up. Uses her chest, keeps on going. Caught her in front, easy. 13 for Canada, and a brace within a matter of minutes for Nia Rose. At this point, Martinique just looks tired, and Canada is not. Perot, easy work, and again, her and Rose pretty much ahead of everybody for Martinique defensively. It's been a tough day. And the train doesn't stop. And it's not like you would dig into this Canada bench and really see much of a step down either. They've got so much talent on this roster. Briggs. Rose, she wants a Hattie? No. Smith. More Titus. Here she is again in the mid. Looking for Audie. Slices it. And Briggs is offside. Almost had her first goal. Some other Concacaf games going on today, and really for the rest of the week. It's a really exciting week. Again, group play here at the U20 level. That was a handball off Mark City. What's the call? Set piece, one hop and handled. Martinique can't get anything going there as Berthelot with a decent knock. 20 minutes to go. Canada clearly in the driver's seat, up 13-0. Swerving through is Smith. Now off to Rose, starts, stops, goes a different way this time. Tumbling down to the green, Perot. Archibald. Shifty, fires, and that one saved by Martinique. Tight corner, couldn't slip it through for Archibald. Again, you can just see the energy drained here from Martinique. Probably had a chance at that one. Briggs takes a hard fall. Sportsmanship there, though. And just some other scores. Looks like Panama's up on Curacao 4-1. And Honduras up on Bermuda 5-0. Archibald. Straight to Martinique. Marcini plays through some contact. Adi wide. Somehow pokes that through to Smith for Perot. Martinique's there first. Shades it out of play. Beaudry has some trouble. More Titus. Well, Canada will likely win this game up 13-0, and their next game is against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That is at 6 o'clock on Sunday, 6 Eastern time, as Moratitis takes a hard fall after a pretty big push. That's gonna get a yellow card, deservedly so. Bertholo with that one. Luckily lands on her back, does Briggs. For Martinique, they'll play El Salvador 3 Eastern time on Sunday. So that's when Group A resumes. Get Saturday off, and tomorrow, lots of games across the league, or excuse me, across the tournament. Briggs has a chance, gets knocked down. It should be a penalty. Just beat everybody, and that was the problem. Nicolo is the one to commit that. We'll see who takes this for Canada. They've got a lot of options. It's gonna be Rose, so she can potentially complete the hat trick. See what Martinique can do here. Again, a very tough day. This will just be a cherry on top for Canada. from Rose in. 14-0. Rose came in the second half as a sub, and she has just made her presence known. Unbelievable performance from Canada, and they are not done. We still got 15 minutes left in this game. That's very tough. I mean, automatic from the spot for Rose, and Martinique didn't have much of a chance on it based on the way it was placed. Would have had to make a miraculous save. Off the head of Claire Logan.
Para los caballeros con sustituciones en el equipo de Martinique. Sábado de los 19 ingresa el número 3.
Bunch of subs coming in for Martinique. They're going to add 3.
También sale el número 10, ingresa el número 12.
Jablair. Rosemain's out.
Ingresa el número 2. Sale Maya Perillo. E ingresa con el número 2.
Looks like Godard's also coming out, and as is Paria. Means Dorian Ajax is coming in. So is Louis. Those are your subs for Martinique. Mortitis bounces off Rose. Rose has it again. This is the back of her foot to send it wide. Audie makes a move. Left-footed strike is a little high and off. Briggs.
One on.
Smith. That was completely accidental, but you could hear kind of the crunching noise that it made as Albin is down. Let's see. Yeah, just bore the brunt of the, foot-to-foot contact. Excuse me, it looks like actually Berthelot's the one that's down for Martinique. Couple of subs entering for Canada. Archibald's day is done. Jadiah Collin comes in. Looks like that's the only one for now. Oh, might have spoke too soon. It seems like McBride has come in as well for Mortitis, but and Canada just using all the subs they can. Final minutes of this game. We got 10 minutes left in this one. 14-0. It was 8-0 at halftime. Canada has never wavered in this game. Still at a cooling break. You can kind of see the defeat for Martinique. It's never easy, and while Canada's coming in here and they're kind of announcing their presence, in this tournament. On the flip side, Martinique just starts on a low note, and it's tough mentally to bounce back from that. However, again, they've got the day off, and then Sunday they're right back to it. So El Salvador, as we saw today, is a pretty solid team after taking down Cuba. Really controlled that game against Cuba all day, and then kind of gave one to Cuba at the end. It was a nice goal, but tough for El Salvador, who had played really well the entire time, and then it got a little scary for them. Are they going to give up the equalizer? They ultimately did not. Possessed really well, just couldn't finish some of their chances. Maybe it should have been a more lopsided score than it was. Well, we'll see Bertha Lowe get taken off on a stretcher. Never want to see that, but it seems like she's in a fair amount of pain for Martinique. Right to Smith. Rose. Hernandez Gray, one of the early goal scorers. Briggs to Smith. Tangled up, and ultimately to Martinique. Doesn't get a good enough strike on it. Perot. A little tripped up as well. Nice move by Colin, who just came in.
Go on the edge on the other side.
Can hear Ty
I know you're supposed to block.
Talking to this team. I think she's, again, just trying some things out on these set pieces. They've had so many. It's like they're practicing at this point. Clearly that one was designed for McBride, who gets a decent shot off. McBride again causes a corner. We see another set piece for Canada.
Let's get it. Geneva, just for this. Yeah, same Daniela. You almost scored too.
Smith fires right into the back of the head of a defender. Hurley took a shot. Can't tell if it hit her back or her head, but that was a rocket. From Smith, straight in! Gorgeous! Off a corner. It's been her day. That was pretty. Even Martinique just kind of grimacing. What do you do about that? You can't do anything. That's... Wow. I said cherry on top on the penalty. I don't know what this is. The sprinkles, unbelievable for Canada. 15-0. Olivia Smith, this is the second half sub. Scores in the 85th minute now. that sideline for Adi. McBride, Perot has some space right into Martinique. Again, 15-0 for Canada. Not much to take away from this performance. I think if you're Martinique, you just want to forget about it. And if you're Canada, great to build upon it, but can't get too comfortable. You're still going to have to play some tough games over the course of this group play, especially, you know, El Salvador is the team to beat right now. So in their group, both with one win. Briggs to Rose. Rose gets called for the foul there. Pushing down Nicolo. Sub for Martinique. Maikuso comes in. Bertholo, remember, she was the one that was taken off the field. So that's a sub there for Martinique. Smith again. Everyone's swarming. Just scored probably definitely the best goal of this game in the waning minutes did Smith. Just got clipped on that one. There's the whistle, but you can hear the crunch. Not a good feeling. Logan, at this point, Logan's just gonna go for it. Why not? Center back, trying to score. Take your moments when you can. Here's Smith. Too high. Looks like we have some cramps for Martinique. And Nicolo's down. Briggs bouncing off some defenders. Martinique will hold. Logan, Pro. Here she comes. Off to Smith almost. There's a final whistle. A massive victory for this Canadian team to start group play in Concacaf U20 qualifiers. Take down Martinique 15-0. Outstanding, lots of goals, highlights coming up. But again, Canada makes their presence known in this tournament with that assertive victory over Martinique.
Concacaf agradece por el apoyo de los socios del torneo nacional. Qatar Airways y Light. Fecha del partido de esta noche. El clasificatorio femenino sub-20 Concacaf 2023 y deseamos un buen retorno y seguro, un buen y seguro retorno a sus hogares.
El canadiense. Llama así a nada. Llama.
Concacaf Under-20 Championship. It's a qualifiers here on the women's side. Canada, Martinique head-to-head. And it was all Canada this entire game. Right away, they get off to the races scoring. This is more Titus off the crossbar and in. That's in the opening minutes of this game. And then they just continue to score. And that's the story of this game. It's an absolutely thrilling game for Canada, not as much for Martinique. We'll see Chukwu, who came out pretty early in that second half, finding her teammate in Jordy. It's goal number 2. And we've got 13 more to show you, probably, as Chukwu slicing, dicing. Jordy's there. One touch. Top shelf. Nice finish from the captain. Malouf curls that one home. And a nice header by Adi comes up to finish. Great service by Malouf, and Adi's just unmarked and heads it home. This one just a giveaway that you can't afford because Hernandez Gray will make you pay. She does for Canada. Makes it 4-0. And there's plenty more goals to show you. Look at this. Again, this is all in the first half. For Canada, they just kept on scoring. Perot steals it, turns, beats the defense, and then off to Marcini, and that one Margini almost had but did not. Center back scores for Canada. Nice feed again from Perot. Still in the first half. Off to Malouf. Chukwu was making a run, but Malouf just takes it herself. Again, only a matter of time. She's just leading scorer with the U17 level last year, so no surprise that she's right back at it. Rosa Malouf. All in the first half still. Chukwu off to Perot. Finally, after getting that assist, she's able to score. And just careens that off the post and in. Beautiful stuff. Tough to actually finish that, but makes it work. Again, Canada just keeps on going, still in the first half. Finally, Chukwu, who created a lot in that first, is able to score. Uses her left foot, pushes it home. Then we start the second half. It was 8-0 after the first 45 minutes, and so Canada just kept on rolling here. Jordy, and then we saw Smith. Olivia Smith enters the game and immediately makes her presence known. Scores with her right foot, and Jordy with that assist. But again, we just saw that Canada had a lot of fitness and sort of clinical presence that Martinique did not have today. Got one easy from Smith. Could have taken that herself, but instead opts to send it to Chukwu, who scores for the second time. And soon after that, a lot of subs would come in for this Canadian team. Didn't really matter because Nia Rose comes in and scores immediately. Stepped on the pitch and found the back of the net. Completely unmarked. Too easy for Canada as Smith just keeps on operating. She really led the way in the second half. Gets in on the action again, scoring for Canada. And then you see her off to Perot. Trying to get past the defense. She does. Rose is open. One times it home. Lots of goals for Canada. Lots of goals. You'll see this angle on this finish again from Rose. Briggs comes in, gets fouled. And so we'll see a penalty. It's Rose, who gets a hat trick in this game, all in the final, 20 minutes or so. Unbelievable. And this is the best goal of the night. Off a corner. Smith immediately scores. You can just see the kind of surprise on the Canadians' face there. Complete game. Great way to end it, but Canada wins 15-0 over Martinique here in Group A play. That's going to do it from us here in Dominican Republic. Have a great night, everyone. But first, again, just a reminder of the standings. So not everyone has played, but Canada and El Salvador have won, and Cuba and Martinique have lost. So that's where we stand right now after day one in Concacaf Women's Under-20 qualifiers. Again, that's going to do it from us here in the Dominican Republic. Have a fantastic night, everybody. Canada wins 15-0.